D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So we are back at it again. I'm here with my twin brother, Marlon. Marlon, say hi.
What's up, nerds?
And we are here to break down and review the latest episode of The Expanse, episode 4 of season 6, the readout. And Marlon, before we get started on our breakdown, what did you think about this episode?
I mean, I liked it, but it was boring.
I agree. I don't think it, I don't want to say it was filler, but it was, I don't know if I felt like it went on a little, in some places, a little too long. And you know, with the speeches and stuff, I was just very much like that first speech, which I want to get into a little bit, but I was just like, hey buddy, can you wrap this grief speech up? Because daddy's got stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll get into that. I kind of liked it just because Admiral Duarte plays a big part in the next 3 books.
That's the thing. A lot of the stuff that they're doing, I'm just like, while I was watching this episode, I was all like, is this just going to play into the last 3 books? Because who knows when that's going to happen as far as filming wise. And I'm all like, daddy's here circa now. So I need you, if you're just focusing on stuff that's coming in later on, why did you even do this? Because I don't want that. That's not what daddy wants.
Yeah, I think, like I said in the last review we did, I think that Amazon has a plan. That's why Ty Frank and Corey, I can't remember who, one of them said that this was just a pause for The Expanse. They didn't say canceled. So a big part of me thinks that either A, they know something is in the works or going to be in the works. Like I said before, it could be an animated series, or they're going to sell it to a different network to put on Amazon, who knows? But I just feel like there's hopefully a reason they put this in there beyond just, giving you a little fill in what's going on in Laconia.
Right on. Okay. Well, before we get started on this breakdown, you guys, which we will do just in 1 second, I want to say one thing. I want to say, if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just get shoved right to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So Marlon, we are going to now get started on this breakdown. And like I said, it was just boring kind of thing. All right. So it starts off in this episode. We start off on Laconia because that's how we start off every episode this season, which I don't mind. And it showed us the proto-molecule ship up in space at the very first screen grab or whatever. And then we go to the wake of Alexander. And, everybody's, and they're talking about how the guy hit him with, the truck or whatnot. And the woman's all like, one of them was all like, well, you know what's going to happen. And then the woman was like, I heard, about a firing squad. And he's all like, it was an accident and everything. And I was all like, a firing squad? I'm like, this kid ran out into the road. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a tragedy, but it was an accident. And I'm all like, you're going to shoot a guy over that? I'm all like, so they're hardcore with no mistakes. And I'm all like, there's going to be a lot of firing squads in their future, I feel.
Yeah.
So Kara, she's sitting here and she's, obviously sad, as she likes to put it. And this is Duarte. Is that how you say his name?
Duarte.
And he's talking to her, and she says she's sad, and he gives her this long-winded speech. Well, he tells her first that her parents were supposed to be in Paris, which I guess, what happened to Earth, it's a good thing they weren't in Paris. So he sits down and he talks to her, and he says, and he talks about grief. Okay. And I wrote down everything that he said, and I'm just going to repeat it now, and then we can discuss it a little bit because I do have thoughts on it. He says, grief is strange. It gets harder when you grow up. So we lie about it and say it's the same as being sad. It's not. It's not like we mean to lie. Gosh, like it'll be all right. We'll keep you safe. I mean, we want to, we try to, but it's not how life works. Having something you love that you can't protect is terrifying. I lost a place. It was a place that mattered to me, and I thought it would go on forever. Well, that's not true. I assumed it would, like how you assume Alexander would always be here. I never thought it would fall apart, and then it did. It made me very sad and very, very angry and frightened. When I was where you are now, I needed something to make it more than just death. I needed to make a sacrifice. You know what a sacrifice means? And then she says, it's where you give something up. He said, yeah, but it's more than that. It's to give something up and make it sacred. When you think about it like that, it doesn't fix anything, but it makes losing them hurt less. Your brother, Mars, the dream of Mars, they still matter. We're doing something good here. It's important. And if we win, it'll make all of this worth it. Even the parts we had to give up along the way. When those rings opened, we all ran out into the universe, like your brother ran out into the road. No one could stop us. So instead, someone has to keep us safe, or at least try. I don't know if I still can. And if I can't, nothing matters then anyway. And then Kara tells him to keep trying, and he's like, thank you. And then we'll get into the other little dude that comes in here. But I thought this speech was a little winded in my opinion, but it was still very good. It was very good. I did enjoy it. What did you think? You tell me your thoughts.
I liked it for two reasons. I mean, like I've said in each thing, I didn't read Strange Dogs, which is the short story that this is based on. But I do like that they've introduced Admiral Duarte into the so you get to kind of meet the guy that is running Laconia at this point. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the payoff is going to be, because I have like my suspicions where they're going to end that part. But anyway, I don't know.
Right on.
It was fine. It's fine. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I do like that they introduced you to Admiral Duarte.
And then he says, maybe we'll build our own Paris or whatnot. As now, then okay, so this guy comes in, and this guy is his name is Cortexar. Sorry,
You've seen him in other seasons.
He has. I remember because they played a little bit of a recap at the beginning of this episode, and they showed him on the screen at the end credit scene of last season's finale, I believe it was. So he comes in, and I love the look on his face. He's just like, and everything. And I have a screen grab here. You can't see, but it's pretty great. And he goes, what seems to be the problem? And he's like, my new coordination protocol returned to coherent reply pattern. I think I can turn it on. I know I can. And then it goes out into space, and we see the proto-molecule ship. And I'm assuming that he's talking about that ship, that they got a pattern back and they can start talking to it. Now I have not read the books, but I do have questions about this, and maybe we can talk about it at the end. Because I just have questions about this ship and where they're going with this and stuff. So, okay. So then we go over, and Kara is wheeling her brother out into the woods at the end because she's going to go all pet cemetery on him and everything, and have those space dogs bring him back. Now I didn't read the books, and you said you didn't read Strange Dogs, but I'm all like, is this little boy going to be like a demon child, like in Pet Cemetery? Because I don't know what the results of that bird was, because we only saw it for like a hot second, and I'm all like, is that, I don't know. It just, something tells, I hope for the best, expecting the worst.
Well, you definitely can see the bird's changed. Like, it has black eyes and its skin color isn't the same. So obviously it has something to do with the proto-molecule and such. So it's just kind of a let's see where it goes from here. I mean,
Yeah. And I
I'm
could,
like you, it's clearly going to be Pet Cemetery style with
yeah,
some
you
strange
can't,
stuff.
yeah, once you're dead, you're dead. You can't bring stuff back from the dead. That's just the end of it. That's just anybody that's read a book or watched a movie or a TV show, they all say the same thing. Death is permanent. You can't bring anything back. And big dummies. Anyways, but it's a child. Children aren't very smart. People try to say they are, but they're not. So then we hop over to series, okay? And Sanjarani, did I say it right?
Nico Sandrani.
Sandrani, man. They've got hard names, okay? I'm trying my best here, okay?
It's
So
okay.
she's in front of the people because last episode we had that big explosion and all the water went out into space and everything. And she gives a big speech, which I thought also this was a very good speech. I was like, "Ooh, you're rallying your people up." I was like, and so I wanted to go over her speech again and then get your thoughts on it. And she says, she goes, "I understand your anger and your fear, but you can't let them blind you. This is not the time to sell our future for the empty promises of safety. We may never know for certain who vented our tanks, but we all know who is building a future for the belt. You will hear the inners asking for us to take their side now. Don't put yourself back under their yoke. Don't forfeit your future for a sip of water. They can't defeat us, but if we lose faith, we can defeat ourselves. Now the inners were offered peace if they stayed on their worlds. They choose to come here, and we will have peace again after they leave." I was like, "Ooh, look at you!" And then they're all started. What were they? They were screaming Beltuani. Is that a thing?
Beltalowda?
Beltalowda. Okay. I don't know. They all like I like the Belters, but I'm just like, y'all, I can't understand half the shit you're saying. I'm all like, I love you guys, but sometimes you guys and the inners. What does the inners mean? Like, what does that mean?
So it's the inner planet. So the asteroid belt goes right outside of Mars.
Oh,
And then,
okay.
so essentially it's anybody from Mars and Earth and anything
Right.
in between there. So after the belt, so like Ganymede is a moon of Saturn or Jupiter. I can't remember.
Right on.
Those would be considered non-inners. So it's the inner planets.
Right on. Okay, that makes sense. So then we go back to the president's ship, and she's her little assistant guy, he gets all mad because he's all like, clearly Marco and Aris set the charges, and the president's all like, yeah, but if we showed them that proof of that, they won't believe us anyway, so there's no point. And so this admiral, I believe she's an admiral, she wants to take because she's all like, listen, I think she said 2 skiffs are offline now, 2 Mars skiffs or whatnot, but she wants to take a joint effort of the Mars.
They were heavy frigates.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I didn't write that down, but I remember her saying 2 ships were off and everything. We're out of commission. Well, for now. But she wants to take a joint effort of Earth ships and Mars ships and go and attack Marco's forces at the ring and take the ring back. But the president doesn't want to do that because she knows that that's what Marco wants. Like, she knows that if they attack, that's what Marco wants, and he's probably going to be ready for them. And they'll probably have, and plus they're not really ready right now to do that. So then she gets on her very high-tech iPhone. What is that, iPhone 45? And she puts out a text that says, "Will not support Medina strike." And then the thing comes back and it says, "Prepare to go alone." And I don't think this is a good choice. And Mars has always been like, attack first, ask questions later. And me, I'm all like, maybe you guys should take a step back because clearly this hasn't worked for you. So, and right now you don't have the manpower / the firepower to win and not take heavy losses. So I would say, maybe calm it down just a smidge and maybe take a breath and try to figure stuff out. What do you think?
Yeah, I think well, it's a bad idea just because I know some stuff that, I mean, as far as if they follow the books a little bit, yeah, it's just a bad idea.
Right on.
Attacking Medina.
Yeah. So then we hop over to Monica, and she's looking at the dead bodies of the people that died in the blast and everything. And she's recording it because, you know, for her news feed. And the president comes in with her little assistant. Her little assistant's kind of a little douche, but whatever. Anyways, and she talks about this Marine. I can't remember the Marine's name and I didn't write it down, but she talks about how they were, she was talking to another person, a Mars person or a UN person, and they were talking about how they were both swimmers, but they were competitive, and how they only swam together once in the Arabian Sea, I think she said. Don't quote me on that, can't remember. And
I think you're right.
Right on. And then the assistant's all like, are you recording this? And she's like, you said I could have full access. And the president's like, I did, and everything. So she's recording it because I think that she trusts Monica to put out the word, and it goes into it a little bit later. So then we hop over to the Ross. And was there anything else you wanted to say about that, Marlon? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's fine.
Gotcha. Okay. So go hop over to the Rocinante, who is en route to Ceres. Naomi is, she's recording everything that they took from their cameras about the Pella. Is that the name of Marco's ship? The Pella?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And she's documenting it, and then she's going to send it out so everybody can find that ship. And so Holden comes. So Holden, I can't remember what he says here, but that's pretty much that and everything. Then we will hop over to Amos and Bobby. Bobby is trying to fix her armor, and Amos is talking about like rivets or some crap like that. I don't remember, but the main takeaway was they play music that Alex played. I like the song that they played, even though it's very, very country. I do like it. I'm so lonesome I could die. Anyways, okay. And then they also talk about how she's pissed that they didn't kill Marco and Aros, that the missile was a dud, which comes up very shortly after this for a very long time on the Rocinante. And then Peaches, she calls Amos down because she wants to talk to him about something. So he heads down there, and she's all like, hey, I did a diagnostic check because they all, were good to go before we got into the battle. And I wanted to make sure the rest of them were okay. And long story short, somebody deactivated the missile, and he's like, I'll take care of it. Was there anything you want to talk about this? Because I love Amos's facial expressions because he got that, oh, shit's going down look. Like, I got to go, like, hold my drink. I got to go take care of something look. And I was all like, oh, man, Amos, when you get that look, I love it, but I don't like it at the same time.
My only critique of this is I think that since the episode was only 47 minutes long, it was kind of annoying. These lengthy parts of, just sentiment were kind of annoying. Like the country song, they could have cut it down into half and made, I know it would only been like what, maybe 10, 20 seconds, but I don't know. Maybe I just kind of just bored.
No, I agree with you. There was this, I don't think this episode was a filler, but there was a lot of filler stuff in there. I think they were all like, yo, make it last 40 minutes. So then we hop over to the Pella, where Marco Naros, he is talking to the captain of the other ship. I can't remember the name of it. The Grak. So they lost one ship for sure out of their little trio. It's like not usable anymore. So he's all like, so he tells that captain to get the two head officers from that ship and blast them out into space. And then when he's sitting here talking to Rosenfeld, and he says, when that captain calls you to ask for mercy for those two, you shoot him out of an airlock. And then he says something about how like you don't get to question me, kind of thing. Then we hop over to a skiff of a bot. I don't remember what these things are called, but and I think this guy's name is Taddeo. I think that's how you say his name, Taddeo. Anyways,
close enough.
So Philip gets demoted to working with this guy and fixing the ship and everything. And he's all like, well, what do you want me to, what do you want to do? And he's all like, you're in charge, dude. You tell me what to do, kind of thing. And I was all like, that's kind of, appropriate, but at the same time, I'm all like, Marco, such a douche, but that's his whole thing. So then Rosenfeld comes to see Philip, and they have a little convo, and she tells Philip, she says, what your father said, he wasn't right. You fought bravely, but he's the commander in chief, and we're still at war. His focus needs to be on the battle. He can't be distracted by you. You need to fix this. I know it's hard to understand when all you see is how much our people love him, but he is alone. You are the only family he has left. He needs you at his side to give him support and counsel and kind that no one else can. Sorry, I said that wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have done it with the accent. Because he was all like, you want me to apologize, kind of thing. And then he's like, you think you know my father? And he's like, what do you think my father would do if I shot you in the face? And she's like, he would probably send my family, he would probably pretend to be guilty about it and then send my family money as compensation and everything. And I was all like, or as remorse. And I was like, she's funny. I was like, because that's what he did. What did you think about this? Do you think Rosenfeld was correct and stuff, or?
Oh yeah. They've made this character really smart. In the books, it's a man, and I believe he's governor of Palace Station, and they blew that up in season 5, so it's not there anymore. But in the books, it's still around, and it's like one of those stations that supports Marco and Aros.
Right on. Yeah,
but I love what they've done with Roosevelt.
Yeah, me too. And I love the actress that plays Rosenfeld. Kathleen Robertson. She's really great.
Yeah, she's doing a good job.
Yeah, she is doing. She's hot. She's very hot. Okay, so then we hop back over to the Rocinante, and Amos and Holden are fixing the ship outside. And Holden's all like, hey, you're kind of quiet there and everything. And he turns around, and Amos has got the look again. He's got the look. And he's all like, he basically, long story short, he's all like, you disarmed that missile before it hit the ship. And he's like, yeah, I did do that and everything. And I can't remember what else Amos says. Do you remember what else Amos says? I'm pretty sure it was important. I just didn't write it down.
Essentially he just, gets shitty with him about not, having the ability to end Marco, and they didn't take it. And then he said, I know you always do something along the lines like, I know you always do the right thing, but I can't figure out why you did this. And if we're not out here to end the war, what am I doing out here? And you need to figure that out. And of course, he didn't have a reply to why. So Amos said, you either don't have an answer, or it's something crazy, like, something smart, like, hey, you don't know what you're doing. Like, you don't have a good reason why you didn't do it.
Right on. I remember now that you say that, mostly because you just said it. But okay, so then we hop back over to the Pella, where his name is Taddeo. Oh gosh, can't you guys' name just be like John or something? Okay, so Taddeo and Philip are trying to fix it, and they're fixing the hull, and Taddeo gets on the news feed, and he's listening, and Philip gets distracted because he's listening to the news, and he loses one of those little plates, and he's all like, don't lose the plate, we don't have many of those left and everything. And so he's like, you distracted me. And I'm like, oh, don't blame him because you fucked up. It's your fault. Take blame for that. And he's like, sorry, I was worried about my brother. He lives on Ceres and everything. And then he gives a little bit of his backstory, which I liked and everything. He's like, growing up, our parents left and then they never came back. And he's not on the ship because he gets vertigo and everything. And I thought that was a nice little moment and everything. Made a new friend. So then we hop back over to the Rocinante, and Naomi, she's doing her thing, looking very cute and everything. God, I love Naomi. She's so freaking hot. They're not, what's crazy? Last season, the episodes with her in it, the scenes with her in it went on a little too long, and this one I'm all like, there's not enough Naomi, like you guys but I really liked this scene. So Holden comes in and he says, when we were, I saw Philip on the screen, he looks a lot like you, and he said he looked scared when a missile was coming at him, so I stopped it. And she's all like, now every time Marco kills somebody, that's going to be on me. And he's all like, no, it's not. He's like, I did this. It's my fault. And she's all like, you can't keep doing this because of me. And he's all like, if I would have killed him, no matter what. And I really liked when he said at the end, he's like, if I would have killed your son, no matter, and we won the war, no matter how, you would be waking up next to the man that killed your boy. And I was like, ooh, this is good. And he's like, and I can't live with that on my conscience, kind of thing. And I thought that was very, very good. And so true, because it's like, no matter what, even if it was the right thing to do, she would have blamed him forever. And she would have held it against him no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing would have been like, if she was like, can you take out the trash? And he was like, I'll get it in a minute. She's like, you killed my son and you can't even take out the trash. And be like, oh man, she's using that for everything.
Savage.
He was savage. So then we hop back over to the Pella, and Tadito and Philip are inside the ship this time, but in the section that's, filled with space. And they find the missile. And it's been disarmed, and they bring it back to the ship. And later on, we find out that it was disarmed and everything. And yeah. Then we hop over to Drummer, and her crew are out in space just floating. When I saw this, I was like, what's going on here, guys? You guys are just floating. At first, I thought it was the crew members that got floated because of that Marco and Ara said to float. But then I was like, oh, no, that's Drummer. Look at you. You're all up in space and everything. What'd you say?
No, go continue.
Oh, okay. So they're floating and everything. And then we see the cache, the supply caches. And she's all like, and I was like, oh, okay, good. That's what's going on. So they zoom in, and I don't know about you, but when the supply cache came by and like not hit them, but they landed on it, I laughed out loud. I was like, I don't know why I'm laughing about this, but it was kind of funny.
No, I actually I wrote that down in my notes too. Like when they use their grappling hooks and it just like pulls them in, it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Okay, good. I wasn't the only one. So then Marquio, is that her name? Gosh, hold on, I have it written down. It doesn't even matter. She's looking out for ships.
Oh, Michio?
Yeah, thank you.
Michio.
I'm sorry. It's further up in my notes, and I don't want to go and look. Anyways, so they get on into the supply cache, and they're looking around. Now, I don't know about you, but as soon as they walked in, me personally, I was all like, oh, they need to get their guns out because there's somebody in here. Like, I immediately thought there was somebody in here. And they're just nonchalant about it. And I'm all like, how can you guys be nonchalant about this? Like, I don't understand. And they get into a gunfight and everything. The one dude from what's his face's ship, he dies. I don't remember the guy's name, his crew member. But the captain of the Golden Bow, Liang Walker, he loses man. But then they're going through stuff, and then there's a small explosion, and Joseph, he like throws Drummer out of the way, but a cargo container lands on his arm. And long story short, they can't get the cargo container off of him without him bleeding out and everything, because that's keeping the pressure in. But she gets with that little strap around his arm. Long story short, she has to cut his arm off, like straight up off. And I was like, oh, poor Joseph. I like Joseph and everything. And now he's, Lefty's his nickname now. Do you have any thoughts on this whole scene?
No, I mean, it's a good little action sequence, and you get the idea, like they got plenty of supply there for people, and yeah, right. I think one of the great things was when Joseph, when they tell him to scan the area again for other ships, and he kind of gets mad at her because obviously in his mind she's not competent enough to do the job. but Kamina just kind of tells him to hold up and calmly tells her to scan again for ships. I like the contrast that Joseph doesn't have faith in her anymore, but Kamina is still willing to give her a chance, kind of thing.
So then we hop back over to the Rocinante, and Bobby is talking to Peaches, and he's all like, she's talking about how like, we have a 1 in a billion chance to, get into this thing. We have a 1 in a billion chance to win the dogfight against three ships, and we have a 1 in a billion chance to be looking down the barrel of a gun at Marco and Aris. And she's like, what are the chances that the one missile that we shoot is a dud? And she's like, 1 in a million kind of thing. I'm paraphrasing the numbers because I didn't write that down because it's not that important.
She just says it's a 1 in 1. It's a 1 in 1 billion of a billionth chance or something like that.
Yeah. And so she's like, I'm going to go to the gym. So then she's all like, she's like, you shouldn't tell her. She says something about don't tell her because, it's better that she doesn't know. And I'm not going to say anything. And she's like, I'm the one that told Amos. And she talks about how like, she's like, I had a chance to kill you, but I didn't, and all this other stuff. And I was like, this is an all right scene, but I was like, whatever kind of thing. Did you have anything you wanted to say about this scene?
No, the only thing that I really liked about it was, when she was talking to him about she found out and then she wasn't going to say anything because she said never be sorry for not killing someone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All the people that she ever killed, whether they deserved it or not, they still haunt her, kind of thing. And I thought that was really touching in the sense that she understands that, hey, look, not killing somebody's a good choice because whether you like it or not, that's always going to be on your conscience. So I thought that was a good sequence of events.
Right on. I agree. Thanks for bringing that up. I totally forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I like how she added more salt to her food. And he's like, that's a lot of salt. And she's like, that's the way I like it. I was like, that's so true because I like a lot of salt on my food. So then Monica, right on. So then that's probably why I have a bad heart, or I have heart problems. Or I have high blood pressure. So then Monica shows a video of that homeless man that she had filmed last episode before the explosion happened. And he basically talks about how he's so sick and tired of all the hate. He's just so sick and tired of it. Like all we do is hate, and he's tired of the hate. I was like, good on you, old homeless man. How he just wants to, have a life, provide for his family. And that's, just live very much, I don't mess with you. You don't mess with me. We'll both live our lives. Everything will be fine. And the president's all like, this makes us look weak. And she's like, no, it makes everybody look weak. And she's all like, she says, she talks about how like, just, they need to come off like they're all the same. That they're not, it's not Mars, Earth, and the Belters, that they're all just like human kind of thing, which I thought was good. Yeah. I think as a journalist, I think Monica does a pretty good job. I think she's good at her job. Then we hop over to Drummer's ship, and she's seeing Joseph and what's her face and everything, and he doesn't have an arm. Bummer. And then so she's pissed now. She goes and she gets on the thing, and she's like, do an a wide net or whatever, a wide broadcast and everything. And I'll go over her speech in a little bit, but she sends out this speech, and she takes the supply cache and everything. And then we hop back over to Marco and Aris and his ship and everything. And he's in his ready room, and Rosenfeld comes in, and she's all like, the captain of the other ship jettisoned those two people. And he's all like, and did he contact you to ask to spare their lives? And she's like, he did. And he's like, and did you space him? And she's like, I did not. And he's all like, you're going to not follow my orders? And she's all like, listen, she's all like, you doing that would have shown that you're, I'm paraphrasing, a big baby, and that you don't know how to take it kind of thing. But by sparing him, you're showing that this just rolls off your shoulders kind of thing. Like it was a loss, but it's like, whatever, let's move on. And then, by the way, interrupt if you want to add anything in here. But then he's like, as she leaves, he's like, what is this? What is in this for you? Kind of thing. And she says that she wants to be the governor of oh, what's the shoot? I thought I wrote it down.
Medina.
Oh,
She wants to
thank
be
you.
governor of Medina.
Thank you. It's like the governor of Medina. And he's like, oh, you want control. And I was like, that's not like, when you're in this kind of stuff, you're trying to, get a better position. This is not, out of the realm. And she's, and she's a smart lady. So she's all like, hey, listen, I can use my talents, but I can also get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they drink and everything. And then we hop over to the mess hall of the ship. And Tadito is sitting there looking at the news thing, probably. And he's like, how's your brother doing? And he's like, or have you heard anything from your brother? And he's like, not yet. Thanks for asking, kind of thing. And then over the news comes Drummer. Okay. Over the net and everything. And this is her speech. I wrote it down because I do want to say it. I do want to, because I thought it was a good speech and everything. And she says, this is Camina Drummer. And this is a message for the traitor, the coward, Marco Anaros. You hunted me and mine, and still we are here, unbent, unbroken, unbowed. And you are nothing. You stole from your own. You abandoned Ceres to the Innas and left Beltus to starve. You called yourself a champion, and then you ran. So go and raise your bounties. Track me down and kill me if you can. It doesn't matter anymore. I will always be the one who took back what you stole. Camina Drama did this to you. Live shamed and die empty. And I was like, ooh, die empty, fucker. I thought this was a good speech and everything. I thought it was a good speech. And then, during that, you see her taking the supply caches and everything. And obviously this is bad for what's his face, Marco Anaros. Yeah. Did you like this speech?
Yeah, I did really like it. The only thing I was kind of conflicted with is the unbowed, unbent, unbroken, essentially is what she was saying, which is the Game of Thrones, House of Martell, their family words. So that was a little I don't want to say annoying, but it's kind of like they couldn't come up with better lines than that. But
right on.
Overall, I enjoyed this episode a lot. Like it was good.
Right on. So then Tadito, he says something like, well, at least it was one of ours instead of the Inners that took it. And Philip, like, he gets all mad and everything. He's like, whose side are you on? Drama is our enemy. And he stands up. And I want to talk about Philip in just a second, but let me tell his speech and everything. And then we'll talk about, I'll complain about him. And he's like, drama is our enemy, same as the Inners and anyone else who stands against us. This is war, and it won't be over until we are dead or victorious, or else everything that we fought for, the blood that we spilled, the Baratanasas we lost, and will have been for nothing. There is no turning back now. I don't know what that word is that he said.
Baratnas,
or whatever that means.
Brother.
Okay. Well, I was... Then why didn't you just say brother? You belters and you're so I just want to say this was a fun little speech, but Philip annoys me because he's kind of a little bitch. Like, he's so back and forth, and I'm all like, make up your mind. Either you're going to be on your dad's side and you're going full throttle on this thing, or you're going to be more like your mom and be like, kind of like, not be so, tyrant-y. And he's just annoying, in my opinion. Like, he's a child, and it's so annoying. Like, Philip annoys the crap out of me. How do you feel about it?
Well, I definitely can see how you would be annoyed with Philip, but I think at the same time he is a young person who, I think when he's his dad's very influential in his life, and Marco Naros in the book is very charismatic and manipulative. So it's in the moments where Philip screws up and doesn't destroy the Rocinante. He gets blamed. He gets mad. He spouts off to his dad the truth, and then he, hears this speech from Kamina and gets mad. And then now he's back. His head's back in the game. So, yeah, I definitely see where it could be frustrating watching it and just going like, "Hey, kid, get your shit together, make it happen." But at the same time, like you said, he's a kid, and kids are dumb for the most part, or it's easy to make bad decisions in these moments. So,
Right
but
on.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I do also want to mention another thing because we're at the end of this whole thing. You mentioned Game of Thrones, and one thing I don't want this season to be is another copy of Game of Thrones, in the sense that this is the 4th episode and nothing's really like happened. And I'm scared that we're going to get down to these last episodes or the last episode, and it's going to be a Daenerys Targaryen situation where they just kind of just throw everything in, including the kitchen sink, just to wrap it all up. And I'm afraid that we're going to get that. And that's something I do not want. Are you scared of that kind of thing too? Not scared is the right word, but.
I'm not worried about that so much as, okay, so, the book where they're ending, so the 6th book ends an arc itself. So the ending will be, if they end it somewhat like the book, it's a very conclusive ending to where the 6th book stops. And I want to bring up one thing that I didn't really get to talk about, or I didn't talk about, is when Holden goes to talk to Naomi, she's looking at the ring gates. And she's studying them very intently, which will come up later on in the season, but I won't spoil that for the ending. But with that said, I'm not so worried about the ending of the show, like a Game of Thrones kind of ending. I think that they can wrap up the ending and it'll feel good, because I think Frank and Corey, the writers, they're the 2 head writers on the show, and I think they'll do a good job satisfying people. They're just a couple of things that you will not get satisfaction on are like answers about the proto-molecule.
Yeah, see, go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
The proto-molecule, you won't get satisfaction on the proto-molecule or the ring builders and then the unknown aggressors. I don't think you're going to get anything out of that.
And that kind of annoys me because like we're doing all this like stuff at the beginning, and I'm all like, are these aliens going to come and help with the proto-molecule thing? Or are those aggressor aliens going to show up ever? What's going on here? Because I feel like when it comes to the proto-molecule, they set it up so heavily, and especially in the 1st and 2nd season, and maybe even the 3rd, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
and now what was that?
Yeah, the first 3 seasons.
And now all of a sudden it's just like put on the back burner, and I'm all like, you guys, you can't give me humans being injected with this proto-molecule and taking over a whole station and everything, and then all of a sudden just be all like, oh, never mind. Like, or give me crumbs. Like, I'm not in. Come on.
Yeah, I definitely feel your frustration in the sense that you're not going to get a lot of closure, in my opinion, unless they do like a big epilogue where they explain something that I don't know how they could do it, where you'll get closure, if you will. But I think that the overall story will suffice as far as where the book ends. And like I said, I have this feeling like they're going to keep doing something. It's just not going to be a show like we were expecting it. Like, I don't think we're going to get a television show like live action. I think more or less, I think they're better. A cheaper route would be animation, just because you can draw as big of a scene as you want. That's a lot cheaper than filming it or building, bigatures or anything like that for it. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to get my hopes up for it, but I mean, that's if I was a movie studio, that's where I would take it.
Right on. All right. Well, Marlon, do you have anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Nope.
All right, great. All right, you guys, tell us what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? Are you like us and you thought it was a little bit boring or whatnot? You can go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go hit that like button. I won't mind. Marlon, you won't mind?
I won't mind, guys.
And straight you won't. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we will see you guys next week on our breakdown and review of The Expanse.